Oh, good evening. The kids are in bed, which means mom and dad have some free time, and lately I've been spending my time down in the basement. Let's check out what we've got here. I've got a little growing operation down here. I'm not growing marijuana. I've got 6 trays full of vegetables. In this tray, I've got cauliflower and broccoli. Purple Sicily, it's a variety that's going to grow purple heads once it matures, and then when you cook them, they turn, I guess, like a light green. So it should be pretty fun. I try to pick things that were unique, that the kids could have fun with, as far as, eating their vegetables and being able to have a little fun with them too. In this tray, I've got 2 types of broccoli. One variety is called Romanesco, I believe. It grows in like these spiral configurations, pretty unique. And then another variety called Calabrese, which is just a standard variety. So you can see these seedlings are looking pretty good. The leaves you see here, they're called cotyledons, or they're seed leaves. These are the leaves that are actually hidden inside of the actual seed, and as they grow, they're the first to kind of come out. But as these little seedlings mature, the true leaves will form, which will be another set above this that come out from the middle. And once that happens, I'll know I need to start feeding these things, like giving them fertilizer or transplanting them or something like that, because they won't do very well just getting water from that point. In this tray, I've got my cabbage, 2 different varieties, both early types, because most everybody in the family doesn't like cabbage for whatever reason. I like it, so I'm growing it. I got early Jersey Wakefield and Cordebu, 2 varieties, again early types. They grow in canonical shape. The heads are like in a cone, a small compact cone. Early Jersey Wakefield is 1 to 2 pounds, and the Cordebu grow 2 to 3 pound heads. But the idea is to get them in and out of the garden and get something else planted in those beds. This tray here is one of my homemade trays. I'll show you this real quick. The other day we were shopping, and lately if I can spot a deal on things, I usually try to get it, or we try to budget for it. But I get these roasting trays. Must have been left over from the holidays. Paid $1.50 a piece for them, I think. And what I did was I filled it with rock, and then filled it about halfway up with water. And in the tray that will go inside, I put my dirt mix, which is basically vermiculite, just regular dirt that I got at the hardware center for like $1.19 for a bag, and then some potting soil, all mixed together to provide my growing medium. Anyway, fill this thing with dirt. But before I do that, drill holes, a series of holes, probably 20 altogether. Fill it with dirt, put the seeds in, and then simply sit it into the tray that has the water in it, and then the water seeps in from below. Basically, I did that so I could bottom water these seeds, these seedlings. And that's what we're doing with all the trays. And the advantage of bottom watering is that we don't run the risk of overwatering the seedlings, and we don't run the risk of killing them, because sometimes they can succumb to a thing called to fungus. It's called dampening off, where the fungus attacks the stem and basically the seedling falls over, and you've just wasted your time and effort there. In this tray, I've got kohlrabi and onions. The kohlrabi is an early white Vienna, and then the onions are called Calibra. It's an F1, or the first generation cross between 2 open pollinated varieties. I forget which 2 they are, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, they'll turn out fine, but if I wanted to try to harvest seeds from this, they wouldn't be very viable. I wouldn't use them to, it just wouldn't turn out well. The kohlrabi and then these peas, again, that I've got in the homemade trays. a lot of people like to direct sow them. I tried a different approach this year, put them into trays, and the reason why is so that way they sprout, I can control the conditions, and then I can plant them exactly where I want them out in the garden. There's a lot less, it eliminates some of the guesswork that you would have with direct sowing, and helps cut down on waste too. I'm not wasting a bunch of seed. I know exactly what I'm growing where, and it just seemed to make some sense, so trying that approach this year. Over here in this tray, planted maybe a week ago, are my 6 different varieties of lettuce, and you can see the little sprouts coming up through here. I've already got lettuce out in the cold frame. That's doing quite well. What I'm going to try to do is stagger the plantings of the lettuce, so we've got fresh lettuce most of the growing season here. And then finally over in this other tray are some more peas that I've got that, again, I'm going to transplant and put around my wire cages that are outside. So that's kind of the down and dirty. You'll notice I got these grow lights. They're on chains that are adjustable. I've got the grow lights about 3 inches above the seedlings on all these trays, which is about where you want them if you want strong stems, strong stem growth. If you have them higher than that, you know, if I had them way up high, the seedlings would probably eventually sprout, but the stems would be leggy. In other words, they would grow up and they'd be trying to reach light, and the stems wouldn't be compact and hardy, and they'd be leggy, and the seedlings just wouldn't do very well. Not all is lost if that happens to you. Basically, one of the things you can do is just when you transplant them, you put the seedling deeper into whatever you're transplanting, so you try to put most of that stem in the ground so it gives it a chance to kind of reroot and establish itself again. So that's kind of what we got going on. It's kind of what I've been spending my time on, and hopefully it'll pay off. We'll have some yummy vegetables and save a little bit on the grocery bill as gas and everything is like increasing. So that's it for now. We'll see you later.